Hello, it's Dr. Cinema. Welcome to a diagnosis. Well, since it appears that November is for some reason superhero month unofficially with Thor Ragnarok and Justice League, might as well keep the whole superhero thing going. Which is why I want to talk about a Marvel show. No, not Daredevil, or Luke Cage, or Jessica Jones, or Iron Fist. I want to talk about the Marvel show that not a lot of people actually talk about Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Now, for those of you who don't know, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. focuses on a group of S.H.I.E.L.D. agents that work on the ground more day to day basis, kind of missions and such. It started off very shortly after the release of the first Avengers movie. And who's the person in charge of this group of S.H.I.E.L.D. agents? Phil Coulson. Yeah, that's right. You know, the S.H.I.E.L.D. agent that appeared in Iron Man and Thor and who got killed in the Avengers movie? Yeah, he's the leader now. He's back from the dead. Yeah. So, okay, we're actually just going to go the comic book route and just bring people back from the dead. Whatever. So, the first season of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., I'm not going to give away too many details about all the seasons, but the first season generally deals with the S.H.I.E.L.D. agents, like figuring out how exactly Phil Coulson came back from the dead, the sudden explosion of Hydra, which ties into Captain America Winter Soldier, and, just deals with S.H.I.E.L.D. like basically coming apart and sort of like coming back together in the underground. The first season is pretty much what most people probably were expecting. It was actually fun to watch. We got Maria Hill, who appeared in the Avengers movie in a couple episodes. Even Nick Fury actually showed up in the season finale. That's actually kind of fun. Another major S.H.I.E.L.D. agent character in the show is a girl named Daisy, who really doesn't really know her parents because she's like been abandoned since she was like a little girl. And the first season ends with the S.H.I.E.L.D. agents, Phil, and even a little help from Nick Fury, like taking down the first big like attempt from Hydra. And as you can imagine, the first season even ties into a couple of things that happen in the movies, like they're cleaning up a mess that happened during Thor: The Dark World. The whole release of Hydra was tied into Winter Soldier. Even Lady Sif from the first two Thor movies actually appeared in an episode. I think one episode. Might have appeared in another episode later that same season. So really, it's not really that disconnected from the Marvel movies at first. Now let's take a look at the second season. The second season deals with S.H.I.E.L.D. now sort of officially disbanded, but now led by Phil Coulson and the same S.H.I.E.L.D. agents from the first season, as they continue to take on Hydra, but as well as a group of super beings known as Inhumans. Inhumans, from what I can understand, were a group of basically organic living weapons first created by the aliens known as the Kree thousands and even millions of years ago. And yeah, that's why I said Kree, as in from Guardians of the Galaxy, Ronan the Accuser. So yeah, another tie into Guardians of the Galaxy. So basically, if you're wondering what the difference is between mutants and Inhumans, mutants, they get the powers from a genetic thing caused by evolution. They're still 100% human. The Inhumans, it's genetic, but they're created by aliens. So that's basically what you need to know. And so Daisy figures out who her parents are, and even actually her mother's kind of like a bit of like a psychopath and tries to basically take over the world and make it an inhuman planet, but they stop her. And that's basically the second season. Third season, we deal with like a sudden appearance and like outbursts of like people turning into Inhumans caused by something that happened in the second season. And with season 3, we see Daisy's using her inhuman powers for the good of S.H.I.E.L.D. and Phil Coulson still leading everyone. And they still dealing with Hydra a lot. And actually, it kind of comes to a head in the season 3 finale where they defeat like the first, what is probably like the very first Inhuman ever created. And by defeating that Inhuman, they actually sort of, in a way, defeat Hydra as well. Not completely, but basically where it can never really be as organized as it once was. But in the process, Daisy's Inhuman boyfriend dies. And that basically ends season 3. Season 4 is the reason I started watching this show in the first place. Season 4 introduces the Marvel favorite character, Ghost Rider. That's right, the MCU has Ghost Rider, and my god, he is awesome. It's not Johnny Blaze like in the Nicolas Cage movies. It's a Hispanic character known as Robbie Reyes, and he's pretty fun. He appears in the first few episodes, but since they didn't really have the budget to keep him around the entire season, he sort of disappears into another dimension after a few episodes. But they bring him back for the season 4 finale, and that is freaking awesome. And so season 4, it references the Sokovia Accords and Age of Ultron as well, and an AI robot has taken control of a supernatural book and is now doing evil stuff with it, basically. I'm not giving it much justice, but I'm not trying to like summarize each and every season here. And season 4 ends with that, with Ghost Rider taking the supernatural book into a different dimension where it can't really do any harm. And the season 4 finale is actually the most mysterious one yet. I mean, Phil Coulson and the group of S.H.I.E.L.D. agents he's been with since the very first season pretty much get kidnapped by a mystery group of men that we never actually see. It cuts to, what I assume is a few months later, Phil Coulson wakes up on like a space station, looks at some asteroids, and he says, "Back to work." What just happened? Alright, and that's basically what we've gotten so far with Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Why don't a lot of people talk about it? Well, I think one of the biggest criticisms of the show can actually be said a lot about the Marvel Netflix shows. I mean, it references the movies, including Thor the Dark World, The Avengers, Captain America Winter Soldier, Guardians of the Galaxy, Age of Ultron, and Civil War. However, the movies never really reference the show either. I mean, it's just basically that whole disconnect between the TV shows and the movies. And plus, it's just not really as engaging or as intense as the Netflix shows. Which makes a little bit of sense considering that Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D. is rated TV 14 and the Netflix shows are TV mature. However, there is still a lot of good stuff to watch here. We've got Ghost Rider, we've got just some fun action scenes, a little bit of humor as well, and even a couple of interesting ideas and themes that they toy with too. So, like I said, the only reason I started watching it was because I heard Ghost Rider was in season 4. So, is it really worth watching the show? If you're really into the MCU and you want to know more about what's going on in the world, then I say go check it out. But really, what happens on the show doesn't really impact what happens on the movies. So, if you're not really that interested in watching it, then I think you can go by without it. But if you really are into the Marvel Cinematic Universe, then I think you'll get a lot of fun stuff out of this. Yeah, I really want an own Ghost Rider show, or maybe make another Ghost Rider movie, because that would be awesome. Like I said, I really love the Ghost Rider character. That's what I have to say about that, and come back to the channel on Monday, where I'm going to start my big anticipation countdown to the Justice League movie. See you then.